So over the last 2.5 years, I've scaled my agency from $0 to $3 million a year, all by the age of 19 years old. I've also helped multiple other people, which you can see on the screen here, scale to 7 or multi-7 figures a year in their agency. And the most important thing in an agency is acquisition. If you have no client, your onboarding doesn't matter, your fulfillment doesn't matter, nothing matters if you can't sign clients consistently. And most agencies acquire clients through cold outbound, through referrals, and through paid ads. And why those things work, and like 50 to 70% of our acquisition every month actually comes from those channels. The problem is everybody's doing them, they're harder to sell, they don't know you, like you, trust you, and they often churn a lot quicker. So a couple of years back, it got me thinking about different ways that I could acquire clients that already knew, liked, and trust me like referrals did, but that was actually consistent and scalable, because that's the problem with referrals, they're not. So I managed to do so, and I want to run you through what I call my Flywheel partner system that allows us to sign 5 to 25 clients a month, doing something that nobody else is doing that requires zero time and effort once it's fully up and running. So I'm going to break down what it is, how I'm doing it right now in my agency, and how you can replicate the system to do it in your niche, your market, your type of agency, to sign way more clients, make way more money, and actually make them stay for longer. So let's rock and roll. Okay, so first thing I want to get out of the way is we leverage paid ads massively. I'm not saying paid ads suck, I'm not saying outbound sucks, but there was something else that we also used to help us scale to 250K a month that bought us a shit ton of clients that I never have really talked about before, and I don't hear anybody talking about because it's kind of untapped. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong whatsoever with acquiring clients through ads. We spend a lot of money on ads every month. And ultimately, to get to 6 or multi-6 figures a month, you need a predictable and scalable acquisition channel. And it's where majority of our acquisition comes from, because you can put $1 in and get $5 out. Because with ads, if you know your cost to acquire a client is $1,000, your lifetime value is 10K, you've got a 1 to 10 CAC to LTV ratio. So you can scale, right? So you just spend more money until you hit a point of disproportionate return. But whether we like it or not, the colder the acquisition channel, the harder the lead is to close and the harder they are to retain. So the problem that we were having at scale is our ads hit a point of disproportionate return. And if you don't know what I mean by that is, if you continue to just double your ad spend, eventually you're going to get to a point of disproportionate return where, let's say this is a graph, right? And on here, this is the dollar amount that you spend, and this is the number of clients you sign. And this is the number of clients, let's say number of C. You're going to scale pretty fast at the start when you're spending like 5K, 10K, 15K. But slowly, as you start to spend more, you're going to get to a point of disproportionate return where your ad spend is going to be increasing, but your number of clients is going to be staying the same. And the reason behind that is because the more you spend, the more people see the same ads that you run. And if you're not in a super huge market like real estate, for example, and there might only be 10, 20, 30, 100,000 of the businesses that you're trying to serve, there is going to be a point of disproportionate return, meaning you can't just put $1 in and get, say, $2 out. So it forced us in our agency to innovate and find other ways to acquire new clients. And when we found this, we actually doubled down on it more because it served us immensely. And another problem with paid ads at scale is, and as I mentioned, they don't trust you as much. They're harder to sell, they're harder to retain. And the cold to warm chain looks a little bit like this. Like if you've ever had a client or got somebody on a sales call from cold calling, email, SMS, any outbound channels, you know from experience a lot of the time, those clients are usually lower quality because the big franchises aren't just picking up the phone to anybody cold calling them. There's so many layers of management, it's almost impossible for you to get to the top person. Another thing is you're reaching out to them directly, you're doing outbound, so they don't trust you as much, and a lot of the time they're broker clients if you get into the owner and you're closing them via outbound, and they typically churn quicker because if they're not seeing an ROI in a month, they can't even afford to stay. Paid ads is a little bit better. You can get franchise clients, you can sign those big clients, but again, sales process is quite hard. You need to be really good at sales. You need to have good nurture processes, and you need to have a really good fulfillment system to actually retain them. And then you've got referrals who already trust you right out the gate more times than not. And from my experience, we've been able to retain referrals way longer than paid ad clients by doing the exact same thing, simply because they know what's possible. They've been referred to you by somebody else, and therefore they're more likely to go through more slow months to wait for something to perform. It's normal because they're not as skeptical. They've seen or know somebody else that has had success with what you do, and they already trust you if somebody else has referred you to them. So again, tying back to what I said in the intro of this video, I wanted to figure out a way to make referrals more predictable, because the reason most people opt for paid ads rather than just relying on referrals is not consistent. You can't project next month how many referrals you're going to get. And if any business could, well, they would just solely rely on referrals because they're much easier to close, they're much easier to manage, and they usually stay for longer and pay more. And this is where I built what I call the Flywheel partner system. So I want to run you through what this is. I didn't make this for clarity, but I just discovered it and I innovated on it. So here's how the Flywheel works. You sign a referral partnership with a company that works closely with the clients that you actually want. You then get clients from that referral partnership, and then you get the client good results, and then that client that you get good results leaves you a review, they give you referrals, and then that also as a byproduct gets you more clients. And when you get that client good results, it also allows you to sign more referral partnerships with businesses that start to trust you because you now have more leverage and acumen in the industry. So if you don't know what I mean by a referral partnership and who's your target, I'm going to break that down now, the 6 steps. So the first one is you want to find where your clients are already hanging out. What I meant in the introduction of this video is you want to find a place where all of your best clients are hanging around. Who do they go to? What do they buy? Because what most agencies are doing is they're trying to target individual businesses one by one. And this is what I was doing for the longest time, which is kind of like trying to catch a fish with your bare hands, right? If you just target one fish where you've got a fishing rod, in comparison to you going out on a boat and getting one of those big fucking nets and throwing it out in the ocean and pulling in 1,000 fish at one time, you have more leverage and you can get more fish with the same effort as somebody that has just a fishing rod. That is the exact same principle that we've essentially replicated in the agency model to acquire clients. So basically what I asked myself when I was thinking about how to do this was, who already has a network of every client we want to work with? And just to give you an example of who did this really well, Go High Level, the CRM that nearly every agency uses, is now, I believe, $1 billion company. And when they first launched their platform, they were initially targeting local businesses to use their CRM who had a higher churn rate. They could only get one client from that client because if a local business goes out of business, that's it. And they only have one location a lot of the time, in the odd circumstance that they have multiple, right? And say that local business decided they didn't want to use the CRM anymore, it's not that sticky for them to cancel. Meaning it's not the end of the world because they don't have clients under them that are using that platform. All their SOPs are built around it. It's less sticky for them than it is sticky for an agency. And they exploded, meaning they went to an $1 billion a year company when they went upper market. And they started focusing on the people who served the local businesses, which is agencies. Because if they target an agency, which then serves a subset of local businesses, they're essentially using the net instead of the fishing rod. They're using the fishing rod when they target just a local business. If they target an agency who has 100 clients, they're getting this big net and saying, Mr. Agency, you're the one that has the boat with the net. I then want you to use this system with all of the fish that you have in the net or all of the clients that you already manage, right? And this way, an agency is 10 times stickier when they revolve their entire fulfillment system around their platform and they have 50, 100, 200 clients all using the same damn platform and they're all so used to it, right? And just to give you a visual example of what this looks like in Go High Level's example, this is what I mean by going upper market to capture a bigger portion of the market with the same amount of effort. So initially, Go High Level focused on local businesses. Now, the next stage of impact on the market will be targeting a franchise. Let's say, for example, they were targeting surgery clinics, and then they went to people that had franchises of surgery clinics. They had 5, 10, 15 locations. Then if you go upper market from that, you then go to agencies who market for the local businesses because the agencies have a bunch of different clients who all have surgical clinics, and the agencies also have franchises under them as well. So you have a way bigger impact the higher up the pyramid you go. And then even higher than that is, say, Go High Level targeted coaching programs that teach agencies how to build their own agency. So then in that coaching program, they could literally teach all the agencies that are building agencies to use Go High Level in their fulfillment. And then the coaching program teaches the agencies, and then the agencies fulfill for the clients, and they're going higher up the pyramid, therefore they have more impact. And then at the top of the pyramid in this circumstance would be an info products consultant that then teaches successful agencies how to teach other agencies to do what they did. This is that like fucking meme where you hear about people that coach the coaches that coach the coaches that coach the coaches. That person at the top of the pyramid makes not only the most money, but they also have the biggest downstream impact on the entire industry. Okay, so just to give you an example of how we went upper market and actually got one of these referral partnerships in our industry is we realized that device manufacturers were selling 100k plus machines to med spas, and they had everything we wanted. They had sales reps with portfolios of say 50 to 100 different clients that they've sold devices to. So in med spa, if you're not familiar with how it works, every med spa, one point or another, decides to upgrade their med spa and they start to buy these fancy machines. There's body sculpting machines, skin tightening machines, and like generalized anti-aging machines. There's a bunch of different fucking machines. And then in these device companies, there's then sales reps who sell the devices, and they're actually quite easy to get in touch with because they don't make make a whole lot of money. They probably make like 10, 15K a month max. And you can find them on LinkedIn or Instagram pretty damn easy. And the benefit to targeting these people is they already have trust relationships with people higher up in the company manufacturing the devices. So we went to the sales reps, and then once we built trust with them, we could work our way up to striking a full partnership with the entire device company. And they have a dependency on getting the clients they sold the device to be successful. Because think about it this way, this sales rep sells the device to the med spa. If the med spa makes no money, they're going to blame the device company. They're not going to buy any more machines, and they're going to tell other med spas the machine sucks and nobody wants to buy it. And nobody wants to actually get treatment with it. So their incentives are aligned with ours as the agency to get the client really good results. And they're going to do whatever it takes to do so because they want to make the client as much money as possible with that device, so they don't come back and say bad things, they come back and say good things, and they refer people to buy that machine in their network. And I don't want you to just think that you can go to, say for in med spa, for example, or any like device-based industry, that you can just go to the device manufacturers, right? You can go even more upper market than that. Because we also looked upper market and we partnered with a company who had a franchising model where they'd help people start their own med spa, and then the person who would license their franchising system would buy out the locations they already had under their branding. And when somebody starts a med spa and they buy into this franchise, they need marketing, because otherwise they've got this fancy location, the devices, they've got the consulting from the people that help them actually launch and start their med spa, but the people actually franchising their business need a marketing partner to run ads for their clients, to help the person that just bought one of the locations to get clients. So targeting those people, you see how you have much more of a bigger impact, because again, you're capturing a net of clients rather than just one individual client. And I don't want you to think this just works in med spa, because I've seen this work in so many different industries. And if I was in, say, roofing, for example, you can go to material suppliers, you can go to insurance claim specialists, property management companies. If you're in like bathroom remodelers, you can go with fixture suppliers, home improvement loan providers, real estate investors who flip houses. And then say you're in like stem cell or any medical based niche, you can partner with equipment manufacturers. Business consultants is a huge one too, which we also partnered with, where there's people that will help coach and consult your client on running the in-clinic operations, growing their med spa. And again, they probably don't want to have a big team and run a marketing agency. That's not what they want to do. If they're a consultant, a lot of the time they just want to have a lean team and they want to get paid for the value that they provide based on a consulting basis. So you can partner with those people, and then when they need marketing, you could be the main person that gets referred. Or you can target, say, supplement companies serving the same demographic. The key is finding who already has relationships with dozens of your ideal clients. So first thing you want to do, again, is you want to find where your best clients are already hanging out and focus on targeting those businesses specifically. And we refer to this as going upper market. And then the second thing you want to do is you make the initial connection. So you're going to reach out to those upper market companies that serve a big net at the client that you want to sign. So we use two approaches that worked pretty well to make that initial connection. So you've got approach one, which is you just tap into your current clients. So say you have 10, 20, 30 clients, even just 5 clients. What we did is we went to our clients who were medical spas and we said, hey, I'm going to give you $500 if you introduce us to the person that sold you that fancy laser device that you've got. And then once we got their email, the people that sold them the device, which is typically a sales rep, you're not going to get all the way up to the CEO of the company unless it's small. And then what we did is we actually got our client to email the sales rep and say, hey rep, my marketing team at, say, Pinpoint Scaling is crushing it for me. You should talk to them about helping your other clients too. And again, you can do this in multiple different niches. So if you're in roofing, you can ask, who's your material supplier? For bathroom remodeling, which showroom do you send clients to? Stem cells, who sold you your centrifuge equipment? And then you get them to connect you via email by saying, hey, these guys have done a great job with my marketing. I think you should connect with them because they can help your other clients, okay? And then you've got approach B, which is a colder form of outreach, so it's a little bit harder, but at scale, it's a lot easier, which is you find the device reps on LinkedIn, which is what we did. They love to post about their machine, so it's very fucking easy to find them. You literally just type in like device sales rep, for example, or whatever type of business you're targeting, and then we literally just sent a message saying, hey John, saw you sold a cool sculpting machine to med spa or business. We're helping them get insert whatever the hell the result is you're getting them. Do you want me to show you how we could help you do it for your other clients too? And if they say yes, get on a sales call and you sell them on the partnership. And then once you've actually got them on a call, you've got a couple of people interested, that's when you present to them the you'd be crazy to say no offer, or as Alex Emozzi refers to it, the $100 million offer, right? So once we connected with a rep or the business directly, we'd make them a no-brainer offer. So ours, for example, at the time was, look, We want to come in and run marketing for 5 of your clients completely free for 30 days, no contracts, no setup fees, nothing. If we don't get results for them, no hard feelings. If we do, we can have a further conversation about what this looks like long term. And it's very hard for them to turn that down. So again, if you're on like roofing, you can literally go to them and say, hey, we'll create a storm damage campaign for 5 of your contracted clients and run it free for 30 days after the next major storm. Or for bathroom remodelers, we'll create a bathroom visualization quiz funnel for 5 of your contractors, run it free for 30 days. If you like it, great, we can talk about a further partnership. And your goal here is to create an offer that has 0 downside to the person that you're trying to target and get a partnership with. Because there should be 0 risk for them or their clients. You should shoulder all the work and the cost, because it's a short-term loss for a long-term gain. Because these people, if you're getting the right connections and the right network, can bring you so many fucking clients. We had one referral partnership that will consistently bring us 5-10 clients a month, and all we had to do was pay them a percentage on a recurring basis, and they were already sold. Half of them we didn't even need a sales call. The sales rep for the device manufacturing company half the time would close them for us, and we would literally just text DM them an invoice and they would pay. And a couple of other things you want to do when you create this offer is you want it instantly to be more valuable to their clients, and they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And you can tell the client, like, this is what we did. We had a sales rep that we partnered with that was part of a device manufacturing company, and we said, look, when you sell this device, frame it as if they're going to get 30 days of completely free marketing with the best agency in the market that's going to run their ads, call their leads, book their appointments, and you can frame it as like a $3,000 value for free if they sign up today. So again, you always want to tie it back to what is in it for the device rep directly, or the business directly that you're looking to partner with, because that's a no-brainer for them. Like, they get to add an additional value add in their sales process that could potentially push somebody over the line. We can get them good results, and that's when the flywheel initiates. And then number 4 is, once you've gone ahead and negotiated this partnership, agreed on it, they send you clients and you run those 30 days. And for us, we went all in and bent over backwards to get them the best results possible. So we over-delivered on every metric we promised. We sent the rep and the client weekly updates with screenshots. We created custom reports showing exactly how many leads came in. What we did is, for every client that the sales rep brought us, we made a custom dashboard with all of those clients in one place, that whenever we got on a weekly call with the device rep, which we pushed for because we wanted to completely smash it out of the park and blow away their expectations in the first month so they would partner with us full time, we created a custom dashboard and I'd run them through the metrics, and they were so blown away on the calls. It was a no-brainer for them to partner with us in the end. And then another thing is, you want to make sure the client told the rep how happy they were. So the client got good results, let them know to tell the rep. And the key here is, you want to make the rep look like an absolute genius to their client. So when a client calls their rep saying that marketing team you recommended is amazing, the rep feels like a hero, as if it was all on them, right? Because when you play on somebody's ego and you have them get the positive reinforcement, again, they're going to want to partner with you, and it makes it even more of a no-brainer. Then finally, you lock in the partnership. So after providing the value for the first 30 days, we formalized 2 types of partnerships. So if it was with an individual sales rep, what we would offer them is 15% recurring commission for as long as the client stayed with us. The reason we did it recurring, which you don't have to, is number 1, it's way more attractive. And number 2, if the client wasn't getting good results and they go to the sales rep and say it, the sales rep at the device company was way more likely to come back to the client and say, hey, just hold on, because they're getting paid a piece of the pie every month. So they are directly incentivized to want to keep that client as much as you are. And we had monthly updates showing them how their referrals were performing, and then custom landing pages they could share with their clients branded around the device company. And we're going to get into that in a minute, and how you can make it sticky and replicate essentially what Go High Level did. And then once we started working with sales reps, we partnered with this one device company and got like 4 or 5 sales reps in that company. And then once we got results for the clients that the sales reps brought us, we then incentivized the sales reps to go up to the higher ups in the device company to get us a deal with the full company. Because when you get a deal with the full device rep or the manufacturer of the thing that they're providing to your ideal client, then the company can literally add in their sales process for every rep in their company, you need to recommend this. This is our recommended marketing partner. And that's what we got. And that's when our acquisition fucking exploded. We signed so many clients, and to be honest, everything broke and we had to figure everything out again in terms of the operations side. But that's a conversation for another day. If you want help with that, check the link below this video. Anyway, so when we were actually targeting the companies, for the MedSpa device companies, for example, we went to them and said, we'll be your official marketing partner, and your reps can offer our services to any client who buys a machine, and we'll offer them X guarantee or they don't pay, as an example. And you can see a couple of other examples with multiple different niches. And the goal is, when you lock in the partnership, is to make it sticky. Again, think about Go High Level. When an agency uses their platform, they create snapshots for their clients, automations, all their SOPs. Everything is centralized around their platform, which creates a dependency. Like for my agency right now, we have around 130 clients. If we tried to move away from Go High Level, it would be so rough and so disgusting. I don't even want to think about it, because our team and our agency is so dependent on Go High Level. and everybody knows how to use it. It's really fucking hard to leave something you're dependent on. So an example of how you could replicate that and how we did is we actually made templates branded around that device company. So we made landing pages and ads and automations all branded around the device company, which made us stickier. Because then if they wanted to just part ways with us, it was like, well, shit, these guys have already built so much out for us. It's pretty much already ready to go. We've got to go through this whole process again of finding another partner, vetting them, getting them to make the templates, actually proving that they're actually good enough. All of these things, it makes it super sticky, and then they just keep sending you clients. And then final step is you just watch the flywheel spin faster and faster, because once it's running, the reps then start introducing us to clients without us asking, and then the device companies will start including you in their sales process. So for example, oh, you're buying our 200K machine? Great, here's our marketing partner who will help you get an ROI with this machine. And then what we actually did, which is a complete side note, is we negotiated a deal with the device company where they would actually cover the cost in the 100K that the med spa would pay the device company for the machine, where they would also cover the cost of our marketing for the first 30 days for the client. So it's a no-brainer. We still get paid, but the device company just pays us directly. And then after that, it then transitions to the client, meaning the med spa, paying us the retainer after month 1, but we still get paid. So it's a win-win-win. And we get success stories from the clients, which created more referrals, and then we expanded out to multiple device companies, and you just repeat the process. So in terms of how you actually implement this in your niche, first thing is you find the gold mine, right, which we've already gone over, and I've gone ahead and listed some examples here. You then slide into their DMs, the people that have access to the gold mine and where your clients go to. So you create outreach templates, you offer existing clients cash for introductions, and you start reaching out. What I did is I had on my daily habit tracker to reach out to 10 potential partners daily. I wouldn't delegate this, because what I actually did is I would send 10 daily, and it would be a Loom video of me, the CEO of the company, because just to have way more authority when you do that, it's way more personalized. And I've gone ahead and attached some example outreach messages that you can send for different niches, which this document's going to be below this video, so you can just copy it. And then you make them an offer you can't refuse. So you can see some example trial offers here, and then you do everything you can do to get results, like your business depends on it, because it fucking does. And it is a gold mine, and you will make so much money if you can actually lock in this partnership long term, because it's very hard for them to just cancel it after you've got like 5, 10, 15 of their clients. They're just going to keep sending you more. Then you formalize it and you scale. So you create a contract, you set up referral tracking, you implement commission payment tracking, and you just double down on outreach. And then you build the money machine. You start approaching the companies and going upper market even more. So if you work with the sales reps, say you have 3 or 4 sales reps in the company, then go to all of those sales reps and say, hey, I'll pay you $2,000 if you can get us a full deal with the top of the top in the device company. So now moving forward, any new sales rep and all existing sales reps refer us as the recommended marketing partner. And then that's pretty much it. You can just continue to infinitely scale. And this works in every single market. So I don't need to think this is just specific to the ones that I just mentioned. And if you're stuck on who to target, all you need to do is put this video into ChatGPT and ask it, who can I target if I want to implement this flywheel system in niche? So that's pretty much everything. And again, if you want my help scaling and growing your agency and you want to license my systems, my SOPs, my snapshots, everything I've just ran you through here today, check out the free training below this video. I do have something to sell you, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you then. Love you. Bye.